Hey everyone, and welcome. We spend so much time talking about our physical health, going to the gym, eating right, but when was the last time you really thought about your digital health? Today we're going to tackle malware, but let's forget all the scary, super technical jargon for a minute. Instead, we're going to think of it kind of like the common cold, something you can actually understand, prevent, and yeah, even treat. All right, let's jump right in. So, I've got a question for you, and I want you to really think about it. Is your digital health at risk? We wash our hands, we try not to touch our faces. We do all this stuff to protect our bodies from germs, right? But what about our digital lives? Our phones, our laptops, all that precious data. A lot of the time, we just leave them completely exposed. It is absolutely time to change how we think about this. So let's get down to it. What even is malware? Well, the easiest way to wrap your head around it is right here. Malware, which is really just short for malicious software, is basically the collection of germs in the digital world. They're these nasty, invisible little things designed to get into your devices, mess things up, and steal your most valuable information. Seriously, just think of your computer like your body. It needs a good, strong immune system to fight this stuff off. And just like with real germs, there's the flu, there's a stomach bug, they're not all the same. Well, digital pathogens are no different. They've all got different names, they act in different ways, and they cause, you guessed it, different symptoms. So let's meet some of the most common digital bad guys you're likely to run into out there in the wild. Okay, first up, we have what is probably one of the most feared digital diseases out there, ransomware. And this title, The Digital Kidnapper, is no joke. It's called that for a very, very good reason. This stuff doesn't just give your computer a cough. It literally kidnaps your entire digital life and holds it hostage. So how does a digital kidnapping even happen? Well, basically, ransomware sneaks onto your system and does one of two horrible things. You've got crypto ransomware, which scrambles all your files, your photos, your work documents, everything, turning them into unreadable garbage. Then there's locker ransomware, which is even worse. It just locks you out of your computer entirely. You can't do a thing. And in both scenarios, you get that terrifying ransom note demanding money to get your stuff back. And these days, the attackers often add a nasty twist. Pay up, or we leak all your private data for the world to see. All right, next up, let's talk about two relatives, spyware and adware. Think of spyware as the digital parasite. It's sneaky. It quietly attaches itself to your system and just watches. It records your passwords, your browsing habits, even what you're typing. Super creepy. Then you've got its loud, obnoxious cousin, adware, the digital annoyance. This one's impossible to miss. It hijacks your browser, floods your screen with pop-up ads, and just grinds your whole system to a halt. So yeah, one is quiet but deadly, and the other is just loud and super irritating. Okay, now we're getting into the really sneaky stuff. Some malware is so clever, it doesn't just infect your computer, it becomes part of your computer. It hides right there in plain sight. And that brings us to the true master of disguise, the rootkit. So what's the secret to its power? A rootkit doesn't mess around with simple apps. No, it digs deep, right into the very core of your operating system. We're talking the main control center, the brain of the whole operation. And once it's in there, it has the ultimate power. It can make itself and any other malware it's carrying completely invisible to your normal antivirus software. It's basically like a burglar living in your attic wearing an invisibility cloak. You'd never even know they were there. You think of rootkits sounds stealthy? Oh. Just wait. Let me introduce you to something that's even harder to find. A threat so slick, it leaves behind almost zero evidence. Say hello to the digital ghost, fileless malware. So why is this stuff so hard to catch? Well, normal malware has to save a file on your computer, right? It leaves a footprint. But fileless malware is different. It's a true ghost. It doesn't live on your hard drive, it lives directly in your computer's short-term memory, the RAM. And here's the really clever part. It uses your own computer's legitimate tools against you, things like PowerShell. Because there's no actual malicious file for an antivirus to scan, it can do its dirty work completely unseen. Literally, a ghost in the machine. Okay, so we've met the creepy crawlies. We know what they are. But the big question is, how do they get in? How do these digital germs even make it onto our devices? Well, here's the thing. Attackers are smart. They don't always have to smash a window to get in. A lot of the time, we actually open the front door and invite them in without even realizing it. Let's talk about how that happens. All right, check this one out. It's called malvertising, and it is seriously sneaky. Hackers will slip their malicious code into what looks like a normal ad on a website you probably visit every day. A legitimate site. And here is the truly terrifying part. You don't even have to click on the ad. Nope. Just having the page load can be enough to trigger a drive-by download and infect your computer. You literally do nothing wrong and you can still get hit. And then, of course, there's the old classic that, let's be honest, still works way too well: phishing. Here's the playbook step by step. First, you get an email or a message that looks totally legit. It looks like it's from your bank or maybe from a coworker. Then it creates this sense of panic. Your account is locked or urgent invoice attached. It's all designed to make you click a link or download a file without thinking. And the second you do, bam, the trap snaps shut and the malware is in. Okay, I know that was a lot of doom and gloom. We've met the germs, we've seen how they get in. It can all feel a little overwhelming. But here's the good news, and it's really good news. We are not helpless. We can absolutely fight back. So let's pivot from the problem to the solution. It's time to get our digital doctor's prescription for building a bulletproof immune system. So, according to the experts, a really strong defense isn't about buying one magic piece of software. It's a whole strategy, and it's built on these 4 pillars. First step, multi-layered defense. Don't just have one lock on your door, right? You need firewalls, antivirus, the whole shebang, working together. Second, constant vigilance and updates. This just means paying attention and, crucially, keeping all your software up to date. Third is something called the principle of least privilege. Sounds complicated, but it's simple. Don't give apps or users more access than they absolutely need. And last, but maybe most important, is the ultimate safety net: solid, reliable data backups. And speaking of backups, there is one golden rule, a simple little number trick that can literally save you from total disaster. I want you to burn this into your brain. 3, 2, 1. This is the 3-2-1 backup rule, and it is your absolute best weapon against ransomware. It's so simple. You need 3 copies of your data in total. You need to keep them on 2 different kinds of storage, like one on your computer and one on an external hard drive. And the most important part, you need to have 1 copy stored somewhere completely off-site. That could be in the cloud or even a hard drive you keep at a friend's house. Why? Because if the digital kidnapper gets your data, who cares? You've got another copy safe and sound somewhere else. So, what can you start doing like today? Think of this as your daily digital health routine. First, get a good ad blocker. It'll stop that whole malvertising thing dead. Second, only download software from places you trust, official app stores, official websites, period. Third, turn on multi-factor authentication on everything you possibly can. It's a huge pain for hackers. Fourth, just take a breath. Think before you click any link or open any attachment. That little pause can save you. And finally, those software updates, don't ignore them. They are your daily vitamins. They patch the little holes that hackers are just dying to sneak through. So there you have it. We've talked about the germs, how you can get infected, and the prescription for keeping your digital life healthy and safe. Remember, this isn't a one-and-done kind of thing. It's a habit, an ongoing practice. So I'll just leave you with this one final thought. What have you done to upgrade your digital immune system today?